Hey, drama lovers and scandal chasers. Welcome back to Celeb Spill Central, where we uncover the juiciest, most jaw-dropping secrets from the world of reality TV that will leave you gasping for air. If you're here, you know we're all about that unfiltered tea, the kind that burns so hot it could melt your screen. And today, oh boy, buckle up, because we're about to explode your mind with a story so twisted, so manipulative, and so downright shocking that you'll be hitting the replay button just to process it all. The title alone is enough to send shivers down your spine. Did Mona Scott script the Kirk Jasmine scandal? Shocking details face screaming in fear. Yeah, you heard that right. We're talking about the queen of reality TV drama herself, Mona Scott Young, the mastermind behind Love and Hip Hop, potentially pulling strings in one of the messiest affairs to ever hit the franchise. Fans are already losing their minds online, tweeting things like, "This can't be real," and "Mona's playing God with their lives." But hold on, is it all a scripted setup, or is this the raw, heartbreaking truth exploding in real time? Picture this: Kirk Frost, the Atlanta rap mogul and longtime star of Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta, married to the fierce and fabulous Rashida Frost for over 2 decades. Their relationship has been a roller coaster on screen. Think epic blowouts, tearful reconciliations, and that unbreakable bond that's kept fans rooting for them through thick and thin. But then enters Jasmine Washington, the stunning side chick turned baby mama who flipped the script upside down back in 2016. Remember that bombshell? Jasmine claiming Kirk fathered her son, Cannon, while he was still playing house with Rashida. The paternity tests, the courtroom drama, the explosive confrontations at reunions where fists nearly flew and shade was thrown like confetti at a bad wedding. Emotions ran high, tears flowed like rivers, and the family was left divided. Rashida humiliated in front of millions, Kirk scrambling to save face, and Jasmine fighting for her place in the spotlight. It was peak reality TV gold, right? The kind that had us all glued to our screens, yelling, "No, he didn't," at every twist. But what if I told you? It might all be a lie. Not the affair, oh no, that's messy enough, but the entire orchestration of it. Whispers are swirling in Hollywood circles that Mona Scott Young, the puppet master extraordinaire, didn't just produce the show. She might have scripted this scandal from the shadows. Sources close to the production, and trust me, we've got the inside scoop, are spilling that Mona allegedly handpicked Jasmine to stir the pot, knowing full well it would skyrocket ratings. Imagine secret meetings in dimly lit offices, where Mona lays out the blueprint. Kirk, play the cheating husband. Jasmine, be the fiery temptress. Rashida, bring the heartbreak. And the payoff: millions of views, endless buzz, and a franchise that refuses to die. But at what cost? Hearts shattered, reputations tarnished, and a little boy caught in the crossfire. Fans are shocked, divided into camps: team real drama versus team scripted shenanigans. Social media is on fire. Mona's a genius or a monster? One tweet reads, "This explains why it felt too perfect." Another chimes in, "And here's where it gets even crazier. We've uncovered alleged leaked emails and insider texts that suggest Mona not only encouraged the affair but timed the reveals for maximum impact." Picture Kirk in a heated argument with Rashida, cameras rolling, but off-screen, Mona's directing like it's a blockbuster movie. More tears. Rashida, Kirk, deny it harder. The betrayal runs deep, folks. Jasmine, once painted as the villain, might be a pawn in Mona's game, manipulated into the role of homewrecker for fame and fortune. But did she know? Was she in on it? Or was she blindsided too? The accusations are flying. Kirk's denying everything, calling it fake news, while Jasmine's dropping cryptic Instagram posts like, "The truth will set you free," or "Destroy empires." Rashida, radio silent, but her close friends are whispering she's devastated all over again. This isn't just gossip. It's a potential bombshell that could dismantle the entire Love and Hip Hop empire. If Mona scripted this, what else is fake? The fights, the friendships, the whole damn show. You won't believe the twists we have in store. Hit that like button if you're already hooked, and subscribe for more unfiltered spills. Whose side are you on? Drop it in the comments below, but Mona's probably watching. Face screaming in fear. Okay, so let's dive straight into this madness, because the Kirk Jasmine scandal didn't just happen overnight. It was a slow-burning fuse that Mona Scott Young allegedly lit years before it exploded on our screens. Picture it back in 2015. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is already a hit, but ratings are starting to plateau. Mona sitting in her one office surrounded by producers and story Editors knows she needs something explosive, something that will keep viewers coming back week after week, something personal, something that hits right in the gut, and who better to deliver the drama than Kirk Frost, the smooth-talking businessman who's been married to Rashida since the early 90s. Their marriage has been the backbone of the show, wholesome on the surface but always teetering on the edge of chaos. Mona reportedly saw the potential early. She allegedly pulled Kirk aside during a production meeting one day, cameras off of course, and said, "Kirk, we need to shake things up. You ready to give the fans what they really want?" He supposedly laughed it off at first, thinking it was just producer talk, but Mona wasn't joking. She had a plan, and that plan involved introducing a new face. Someone fresh, someone hungry for the spotlight. Enter Jasmine Washington, a beautiful, ambitious woman from the Atlanta scene who had been circling the love and hip-hop world for months. Insiders say Mona spotted her at an industry event. Jasmine was networking hard, handing out cards, talking about her music dreams, her modeling gigs, her desire to be on. Mona allegedly approached her that night, pulled her into a quiet corner and said, "Girl, you got star quality, but you need a big story, something that puts you on the map." Jasmine listened, eyes wide. Mona continued, "I can make that happen, but it's gonna require commitment, real commitment." You and Jasmine supposedly nodded without hesitation, not knowing exactly what she was signing up for, but sensing the opportunity of a lifetime. Fast forward a few weeks and the groundwork begins. Mona allegedly starts feeding Kirk subtle suggestions during filming breaks. "Hey Kirk, you ever think about what it would be like to have a little side situation just for the show? Spice things up, you know, keep Rashida on her toes." Kirk brushes it off publicly, but privately the seed is planted. Sources claim Mona even arranged casual meetups. Jasmine starts showing up at events where Kirk is scheduled to be there, always looking flawless, always positioned perfectly for the cameras to catch that lingering glance, that accidental brush of hands. It was choreography, folks, pure calculated choreography. And then the first big twist hits. Jasmine gets pregnant, yes, pregnant, and the timeline allegedly lines up suspiciously perfectly with those orchestrated encounters. Kirk panics, or at least acts like he panics. Rashida starts noticing the distance, the late nights, the secretive phone calls. Emotions run high in the Frost household. Rashida confronts Kirk one night, tears streaming down her face. "Kirk, baby, what's going on? Who is this girl? Why are people talking?" Kirk denies everything, swears it's just rumors, but Rashida isn't buying it. She screams, "You think I'm stupid? I see the way you look at your phone. You think I don't know when you're lying." Kirk yells back, "You're paranoid." Rashida, "At this show got you twisted up, but deep down he knows the truth is messier than even she imagines." Meanwhile, Jasmine is glowing, posting subtle pregnancy hints on Instagram, ultrasound pics cropped just enough to tease but not reveal the father. Mona allegedly loves it. She pushes for more. Jasmine do a confessional, tell the cameras how excited you're, how this baby is gonna change everything, but don't name names yet, let the speculation build. Jasmine complies, dropping lines like, "I've been keeping this secret for too long, but now it's time to live my truth." Fans go wild online. Who is the baby daddy? Speculation runs rampant. Some point to Kirk, others think it's a random rapper, but the smart ones, the ones paying close attention, start connecting the dots. Mona allegedly times the big reveal perfectly. Season 8 is about to premiere and she needs a bombshell to hook viewers. She greenlights the paternity drama storyline. Jasmine goes public claiming Kirk is the father. The internet explodes, memes, tweets, think pieces. Rashida is blindsided on camera. She breaks down sobbing in the confessionals. "How could he do this to me? After all these years, we built a family, we built an empire." Kirk tries to play it cool, denies the baby at first, says it's not his, but the pressure mounts. Mona pushes harder. "Kirk, you gotta address this on the show. Give us the confrontation, give us the tears." Rashida, "You gotta bring the pain, show the world how hurt you are." The reunion special becomes legendary. Rashida storms and Jasmine is already seated looking smug. Kirk is caught in the middle. Rashida points at Jasmine, "You homewrecking, you think you can just come in and take my man?" Jasmine fires back, "Girl, he came to me, he chose me." Rashida screams, "Liar." Kirk tries to mediate, "Baby, calm down, it's not what you think." But Rashida ain't having it. She throws a drink across the table. Security jumps in, chaos ensues. Fans are screaming at their, "This is the drama we live for." But here's the kicker, insiders are now saying none of it was organic. Mona allegedly scripted every beat, every line, every tear. She had the cast signed so thick they could double as doorstops. Jasmine was allegedly paid extra to play the villain, to take the heat, so Rashida could look like the victim and Kirk could look like the flawed but redeemable husband. It was all theater, baby, all for the ratings, but the personal toll was real. Rashida's trust was shattered. The pain felt real. Kirk's reputation took a hit. Jasmine became public enemy number one, and little Cannon, born into this mess before he could even walk, was already a pawn in Mona's game. Fast forward to the aftermath. Kirk and Rashida supposedly renew their vows on camera. Big redemption arc. Mona milks it for all it's worth. Jasmine fades into the background, but not before dropping a tell-all interview where she hints at feeling used. She says, "I thought I was getting my big break, but it cost me my peace." Mona allegedly calls her in for a meeting after that, tells her to keep quiet or the checks stop coming. Jasmine stays silent for years, but now the whispers are getting louder. Leaked messages from production assistants, anonymous posts on Reddit, former cast members subtly shading the show, saying things like "not everything is what it seems." One even posted a cryptic tweet, "Mona got us all acting like fools for," and the fans ate it up, but at what cost? The family was left divided. Rashida's friends say she still has trust issues even years later. Kirk swears it was real. Jasmine claims she was manipulated, and Mona sits on her throne laughing all the way to the bank because the scandal kept love and hip-hop alive longer than anyone expected. But now the truth is bubbling up. Fans are demanding answers. Was it scripted? Was Mona the director pulling every string? Did she destroy real lives for fake drama? The evidence is mounting. Emails, texts, voicemails, all allegedly pointing back to Mona orchestrating the whole thing. One source claims to have seen a production Bible for season 8 labeled Operation Side Chick with detailed notes on how to escalate the conflict, how to make Rashida cry on cue, how to make Jasmine look like the ultimate villain. Kirk allegedly got bonuses for playing along, extra appearance fees, real money changing hands to keep the lie going. Rashida got therapy sessions paid for by production because the emotional toll was too much even for reality. Jasmine got a spin-off pitch that never materialized because Mona knew she couldn't control her forever. The twists keep coming because just when you think it can't get worse, there's more. Mona allegedly didn't stop at the affair. She pushed for the courtroom battle, real lawyers, real judges, but with producers in the gallery directing angles, making sure every dramatic pause was captured. The paternity test reveal was allegedly rehearsed. Kirk opening the envelope, hands shaking, Rashida holding her breath, Jasmine smirking. It was cinema, not reality, but the scars are real. Cannon grows up knowing his existence started a war on national television. Fans send him love, some send hate. Rashida tries to shield him, but the internet never forgets. Kirk posts dad pics trying to rewrite the narrative. Jasmine stays low-key, but every now and then she likes a post shading the Frosts. The betrayal runs deep. Mona allegedly even scripted the reconciliation scenes. Kirk and Rashida holding hands at the reunion, Mona whispering in their earpieces, "Say you love each other, make it believable." The family portrait that followed was picture perfect, but behind closed doors questions lingered. Was any of it real, or was the whole marriage just another storyline? Now, years later, with love and hip-hop winding down, the cast is speaking out more freely. One former producer allegedly said off the record Mona treated their lives like a script. She wrote the endings before the beginnings. She knew exactly how far to push before pulling back, just enough to keep them hooked. Addicted to the fame, addicted to the checks, but addicted to the pain too. Fans are shocked, realizing their favorite show might have been one big manipulation. Emotions ran high across social media. Hashtags like "Justice for us," "Hidamanamadim and "Was it scripted" trend for weeks. People digging up old episodes, analyzing every glance, every word, looking for clues of the setup. The timeline is damning. Jasmine's first appearance on the show was too polished, too perfectly timed. Kirk's slip-ups too convenient. Rashida's breakdowns too cinematic. It all adds up to one conclusion: Mona Scott Young didn't just produce the Kirk-Jasmine scandal, she engineered it from the very first flirt to the final tear. But the biggest twist is yet to come, because Jasmine is reportedly ready to talk. She's got receipts, she's got recordings, and she's tired of carrying the villain label alone. Insiders say she's shopping a bombshell interview where she plans to name names, drop dates, expose meetings with Mona herself. If she goes through with it, the entire franchise could crumble. Rashida might finally get closure. Kirk might face the music. Mona might have to answer for playing God with people's lives. The drama isn't over, it's just getting started, and you guys are in for the ride of your life, because what comes next could change everything you thought you knew about reality. Stay locked in, because part 2 is about to drop. Even harder revelations are coming, dialogues you won't believe, tears that might actually be real. This time the truth is out there, and it's messier than ever. Hang on tight, because this scandal is far from over, and Mona might finally get exposed for the mastermind. She is so picking up right where we left off. Jasmine is reportedly sitting on a mountain of evidence, and the clock is ticking, because once she decides to spill everything, the dominoes are gonna fall fast. But let's rewind a little deeper into how this whole operation allegedly unfolded, because the real juice is in the details, the behind-the-scenes moments that never made it to air. Mona Scott Young didn't just stumble into this scandal, she built it brick by brick like a master architect. Sources claim she had weekly strategy sessions with her top producers, where they mapped out the entire season arc On giant whiteboards, timelines, arrows, red circles around key emotional beats, and at the center of it all was the Frost family, Kirk, Rashida, and now Jasmine, the ultimate triangle. Mona allegedly treated it like a chess game, moving pieces exactly where she wanted them. One former staffer, who spoke anonymously, said Mona would sit there with a red marker circling dates, saying, "Okay, week 6, we need the first big fight, week 8, the pregnancy announcement, week 12, the paternity reveal." It was scripted down to the episode numbers. They even had contingency plans. If someone went off script, like if Rashida refused to cry on cue, they'd have backup footage or push for reshoots under the guise of pickups. Imagine that, Rashida thinking she's doing another confessional, but really it's a do-over. Because the first take didn't have enough tears, Mona allegedly wasn't satisfied until the emotion looked cinematic enough for prime time. The manipulation ran deep. Kirk was allegedly given talking points before every scene, producers slipping him notes saying deny harder, here, look remorseful. The play the confused husband card. Fans ate it up thinking it was raw authenticity, but it was rehearsed authenticity. Jasmine's role was even more calculated. Mona reportedly told her early on, "You're gonna be the bad girl, the one everyone loves to hate, but trust me, it'll pay off in the long run." Jasmine bought in hook, line, and sinker. She started dressing the part, more provocative outfits, always camera ready, always ready to steal a scene. Insiders say Mona even approved Jasmine's Instagram posts down to the captions, making sure they were vague enough to fuel speculation but pointed enough to point fingers at Kirk. One post in particular, a silhouette shot of her baby bump with the caption, "New beginnings, can't wait to meet you." The comments exploded. "Who is it? Jasmine spilled the tea," and Jasmine never answered, just hearted the messiest ones. Mona allegedly monitored those comment sections like a hawk, telling Jasmine which ones to engage with, which ones to ignore. It was social media warfare designed to keep the buzz alive 24/7, but the real heartbreak came in the private moments away from the cameras. Rashida allegedly started therapy during the height of the scandal, paid for quietly by production because the stress was affecting her performances on set. She would break down between takes, saying, "I don't know how much more I can take this." Kirk would try to console her off camera, whispering, "Baby, it's not real." But Rashida would snap back, "How is my pain not real, Kirk? How is our marriage not real if we're letting them turn it into a circus?" Kirk had no answer because deep down he was conflicted too. He loved the fame, the extra checks, the spotlight, but he also loved his wife, and now there was a child involved. Cannon, a beautiful little boy who didn't ask for any of this. Mona allegedly pushed for Cannon to appear on the show as a baby. Cute little cameos, family moments to soften the blow, make Kirk look like a devoted dad even if the circumstances were shady. Rashida would hold him on camera, forcing smiles while her eyes told a different story. Fans saw the pictures, thought or redemption, but behind the scenes Rashida was allegedly crying herself to sleep, wondering if her whole life was just content. Now let's talk about the money, because that's where it gets really ugly. Mona didn't just orchestrate drama, she monetized it heavily. Kirk allegedly got bumped up appearance fees by 20% during the scandal season. Jasmine got a signing bonus, rumored to be in the six figures, just for agreeing to the storyline. Rashida got hazard pay, essentially extra compensation for emotional distress. Production covered spa days, therapy sessions, even a family vacation to Hawaii, all filmed of course, because nothing is ever truly off camera. Mona knew how to keep her stars loyal, loyalty bought with checks and promises of more screen time, more spin-offs, more fame. But fame comes at a price, and Jasmine paid it dearly. She became the most hated woman on reality. Death threats, hate comments, people showing up at her events to boo her. She allegedly went into hiding for months, deleting posts, changing numbers, trying to disappear. Mona told her it would blow over. Ride the wave, baby, you'll come out stronger. But Jasmine started questioning everything. Was this worth it? Was I just a tool? Did Mona ever care about me as a person or just as a plot device? The cracks started showing. Jasmine began missing mandatory production meetings, showing up late to shoots, giving short answers in confessionals. Producers panicked because if Jasmine cracked, the whole storyline could collapse. Mona allegedly called an emergency meeting, pulled Jasmine in and said, "Listen, girl, you signed the contract, you knew what this was, don't go soft on me now." Jasmine broke down crying, saying, "I didn't know it would hurt this much. I didn't know people would hate me this bad." Mona supposedly softened for a second, hugged her and said, "That's the price of stardom, baby, but you'll thank me later when the checks clear and the followers roll in." Jasmine wiped her tears, nodded, but the damage was done. She started distancing herself from the show, quietly unfollowing cast members, not showing up to reunions, making excuses. The fans noticed. The shade accounts popped up. Jasmine versus Mona. Mona made her do it justice for Jasmine. Hashtags trended for a hot minute, but then the next season started and the attention shifted. Mona moved on to the next drama, the next couple, the next scandal, but Jasmine never forgot, and neither did the others. Rashida allegedly kept a journal during those years, pouring out her real feelings, the ones she couldn't say on camera, the anger, the betrayal, the exhaustion. She wrote things like, "How do I trust again when even my pain was produced for entertainment?" Kirk read those pages one night, allegedly broke down himself, saying, "Baby, I'm sorry I let it go this far." Rashida looked at him and said, "You didn't just let it go, you participated, you took the money, you took the fame, you took the storyline, and now we're all paying for it." The Frost marriage survived on camera, but off camera it was hanging by a thread. Therapy sessions continued, Rashida demanding transparency, Kirk promising change, but the trust was fractured in ways that therapy couldn't always fix. And then there's Cannon, sweet innocent Cannon, growing up in the shadow of this mess, classmates teasing him about his dad, strangers recognizing him, asking questions he doesn't understand. Rashida tries to protect him, keeps him off social media as much as possible, but the internet is forever screenshots of old episodes, clips of the fights, the paternity reveal, all live forever. Cannon will one day Google his name and see the chaos that started his life. Mona allegedly never met Cannon personally, never checked in, never sent a birthday card, because to her he was just part of the narrative, a cute plot twist to keep viewers emotionally invested. But to Rashida, he was her stepson, her family, her responsibility, and she poured love into him even when it hurt. Now, years later, with the whispers getting louder, Jasmine is allegedly ready to flip the script. She's meeting with lawyers, entertainment reporters, indie producers, anyone who will listen without and hanging over her head. Sources say she has saved voicemails from Mona directing her on what to say in confessionals, text threads with producers outlining scenes, emails confirming bonus payments tied to specific dramatic moments. If even half of this leaks, the fallout will be nuclear. One could face lawsuits, cast members could demand renegotiated contracts, Mona could be painted as the villain she created. So many others to be. Fans are already gearing up for the reckoning. Trending topics like Expose Mona boycotted Love and Hip Hop. That truth is coming trending worldwide. People want answers. They want to know if their emotions were played, if their tears were wasted, if the drama that they loved was all manufactured. And the answer is starting to look like a resounding yes. But hold on, because there's another layer to this onion that makes it even more twisted. Mona allegedly didn't just script the scandal, she used it to test new production techniques, things like hidden earpieces for real-time direction, mood music pumped into scenes to hide an emotion, even scent diffusers in the confession rooms. Jasmine lavender for calm, Rashida citrus for energy. It was psychological warfare disguised as reality. Production insiders say Mona studied reality shows like Big Brother, Survivor, the real world, took notes on what made people snap, what made them cry, what kept viewers hooked, and she applied those lessons ruthlessly to love and hip-hop. The Kirk Jasmine saga was her magnum opus, her proof that she could engineer heartbreak and still come out on top. But now the empire she built might be crumbling from within, because when the pawns start talking, the king, or in this case the queen, gets exposed, and Mona Scott Young might finally have to face the music she forced everyone else to dance to. The next twist is coming fast. Jasmine's interview is reportedly scheduled. Jasmine's ready to name names, and when she does, the whole game changes. Rashida might speak out, Kirk might confess, Mona might lawyer up. But one thing is for sure, the fans won't stay silent. They'll demand accountability. They'll rewatch every episode with new eyes, looking for the strings, the setups, the direction, and when they find them, the outrage will be deafening. So strap in, because this scandal isn't dying down, it's just heating up, and part 3 is about to drop even more bombshells, the kind that make you question everything you believed about reality television. Hang tight, the truth is messy, it's painful, and it's coming whether Mona likes it or not. So as Jasmine gears up for what could be the interview of the decade, let's peel back even more layers, because this scandal wasn't just about one affair, one baby, one paternity test. It was a full-blown ecosystem of manipulation that Mona allegedly cultivated over multiple seasons. Insiders are now coming forward with stories that paint a picture of a production environment that was more like a pressure cooker than a set. One former camera operator who worked on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta during the peak of the Kirk Jasmine mess claims that Mona had what they called emotion coaches on payroll. These weren't therapists, these were people trained in reality psychology, whose job was to whisper in the cast's ears right before takes, things like "Remember how hurt you felt last week," channel that, or "Think about your kids, think about your future, think about the betrayal." It was designed to trigger authentic-looking breakdowns, but the authenticity was manufactured. Rashida allegedly hated these sessions. She would leave the room shaking, saying, "I don't need someone telling me how to feel about my own marriage." But producers would coax her back, promising, "This is the last one. This will make the episode stronger." The lines between real and fake blurred so much that even the cast started Questioning their own emotions, Kirk reportedly told a friend off the record one night after a long shoot, "I don't even know anymore if I'm mad because I'm supposed to be or because I really am." Rashida would stare at herself in the mirror after confessionals, wiping mascara, asking out loud, "Was that me or was that the script?" Mona allegedly thrived on the confusion she knew confused people made better television because confusion breeds drama and drama breeds ratings, but the toll on mental health was brutal. Jasmine started having panic attacks before shoots. Sources say she would hide in the bathroom hyperventilating, texting friends, "I can't do this, I feel like I'm losing my mind." One time production had to delay filming for hours because Jasmine couldn't stop crying. Not the good reality. Crying the ugly, uncontrollable kind. Mona showed up that day, which was rare. She pulled Jasmine aside in a trailer and allegedly said, "Pull it together, girl. This is what you wanted. This is what we all signed up for." Jasmine looked at her through tears and said, "No, Mona, this is what you wanted. I just wanted to be on." Mona supposedly paused, then said, "Exactly, and now you're so do your job." Jasmine did, but the resentment built like a storm, and that storm is about to break. Now let's talk about the reunion specials because those were Mona's favorite playgrounds. The Kirk-Jasmine confrontation reunion is still one of the most watched episodes in franchise history. Millions tuned in to see Rashida go off, Jasmine clap back, Kirk squirm, but what fans didn't see was the pre-production prep. Mona allegedly ran rehearsals like a theater director. Kirk, Rashida, Jasmine in a room with producers blocking out movements, scripting key lines, even practicing the drink throw because Mona wanted it to look spontaneous but safe. Security was briefed on exact timing, angles, cameras positioned for maximum drama. Rashida was allegedly given a prop cup with colored water so it would show up better on camera. Jasmine was told to stand at a certain mark so the cameras could catch her smirk perfectly. Kirk was instructed to look guilty but not too guilty, just enough to keep viewers guessing whose side to take. It was choreography down to the finger points and the dramatic pauses. When the episode aired, fans lost their minds, calling it iconic, raw, real, but now those same fans are learning it was staged like a wrestling match, complete with predetermined winners and losers, and the winner was always the ratings. Mona allegedly celebrated the reunion night with champagne toasts, telling her team, "This is why we're number one, this is why they keep coming back." But behind closed doors, the cast wasn't toasting. Rashida went home and allegedly slept for 16 hours straight, emotionally drained. Kirk hit the studio trying to drown out the noise with music. Jasmine scrolled through hate comments, wondering if fame was worth the hate. Cannon was just a toddler then, but even he felt the tension in the house. Rashida holding him extra tight, whispering, "You're safe, baby, mama's got you." The family tried to heal, but every time a new episode dropped, the wounds reopened. Fans would flood their pages with questions, opinions, judgments. It was like living in a fishbowl with the whole world tapping on the glass. Now fast forward a few years and the cracks are turning into craters. Jasmine has allegedly started saving everything: voicemails, emails, text chains, even old contracts with handwritten notes from Mona. One source close to Jasmine says she has a folder labeled receipts, over 1,000 pages of proof that the storyline was not only encouraged but mandated. Mona allegedly wrote things like, "Escalate the tension here, make sure Rashida sees the text, make sure Kirk denies it publicly but admits it privately. It's all there in black and white," or so the whispers say. If Jasmine drops even a fraction of this, the internet will implode. Fans will re-examine every season looking for similar patterns. Was Jocelyn's beef with Stevie scripted? Was Yandy and Mendice's custody drama produced? Was Scrappy and Bambi's wedding real or reality? The questions will multiply and Mona will have to answer for all of them, but Mona isn't going down without a fight. Sources say she's already lawyering up, quietly reaching out to former cast members, reminding them of this, offering quiet settlements to keep quiet. But Jasmine isn't signing anything. She's done playing the game. She allegedly told a confidant, "I'm not carrying this alone anymore. If I go down, Mona goes with me." Rashida has stayed mostly silent publicly, but privately she's reportedly talking to her inner circle, saying, "If it's true, if Mona really did this, then I need to speak my truth too, not for revenge, for healing, for my kids, for Cannon, who deserves to no, his story wasn't just entertainment." Kirk is caught in the middle again, denying publicly but sweating privately, because if Jasmine has proof then his redemption arc crumbles. Fans who rooted for him and Rashida might turn on him all over again. The family is bracing for impact. Cannon is older now, starting to ask questions. Rashida shields him as best she can, but kids sense things. He allegedly asked her one day, "Mama, why do people say bad things about Daddy online?" Rashida hugged him tight and said, "Grown-up stuff, baby, don't worry about it." But she worries every day. The emotional scars run deep and Mona's fingerprints are allegedly all over them now. The bigger picture is emerging. Love and hip-hop wasn't just a show, it was a machine that chewed up real life, spit out drama and called it Entertainment Mona built a machine, perfected it and rode it to the top, but machines break when the parts start rebelling, and the parts are rebelling hard. Jasmine's interview is the spark. Rashida's potential statement is the gasoline. Kirk's silence is the wind fanning the flames. Mona can try to control the narrative, but once the truth hits the airwaves, control slips away fast. Fans are already organizing watch parties for whatever Jasmine drops. Hashtags like Mon exposed Truth. Jasmine breaks free. Gaining steam. Podcasts are dissecting old episodes line by line, looking for slip-ups. Former producers are leaking anonymous tips. Reddit threads have thousands of comments, people sharing screenshots, old tweets, vague posts from cast members that suddenly make sense in hindsight. The court of public opinion is in session and Mona is on trial. Whether she shows up or not, the verdict is leaning guilty, but the real question is what happens after the gavel falls. Does one pull the plug on the franchise? Do they reboot without Mona? Do they settle quietly and hope it blows over? Or does this become the moment reality finally reckons with its own toxicity? Because if Mona scripted heartbreak for profit, then what does that say about the whole genre? Fans are waking up, realizing maybe their favorite shows weren't about real people living real lives. Maybe they were about producers pulling strings, making puppets dance for views, and the puppets are tired of dancing. They're ready to cut the strings, and when they do, the whole stage might collapse. Part 4 is coming with even wilder revelations, alleged leaked messages, producer confessions, cast member side stories, the kind of stuff that makes you pause the video and say, no way, this can't be real. But it isn't. It's only getting messier. Hang on, because the explosion is imminent, and when it hits, nobody walks away unscathed.